Good afternoon, people. If anybody is out there, if you can just tell me if the audio is okay. We're trying something slightly different this afternoon. So an audio check, please, would be great. Good afternoon, people. Oh God, yeah, that's working. If anybody is out there, if you can just tell me if the audio is okay. Fantastic. Well, that's definitely working. As I deafen myself. We'll just wait until see a few people turn up into the chat. If the audio is too loud or too distorted or anything, if you can just let me know, and we'll try and make it different. We'll try and improve things. I've stepped away from using the small mic. Good afternoon, Gus. Got a desk mic now, which I'm testing, just to see how that works out. See if it works out very good. Audio has an echo. Okay, that probably means I've got more than one device on, which is not good. So we shall. Gusney, you're a pain, you really are. But we love you. Alien Paul, good afternoon. Yeah, we're finally going to get around to doing a little bit of something with this. This. It's been a long time coming. It's taken a while, let's say. Rushmere 3D very kindly sent me the Filamentum PLA for free, which was really, really nice of him. Which I really do appreciate. Because without that, I wouldn't be doing it. Basically, I've got the main chassis, which I've already done. Which I'll just do a quick overhead on. There you go. The main chassis that I've already done. I'm sure plenty of you have seen photographs of it. Let's whack on the close-up cam. There you go. You can have a good look at that. This model is amazing. It just really is phenomenal in its design. The level of detail is really, really quite phenomenal. There's a full gearbox in there that I've had to build. All the differentials are built, and they're all loaded up with grease, all printed in PLA. There's nothing that isn't PLA in there. I know a lot of people, even on the website, they have a Facebook group as well, and an awful lot of people were saying, well, surely PLA isn't going to work. But yeah, the tests that have been done seem to show that there's nothing wrong with it. It seems to work really well. Which is fantastic. I have had it out. I did do a quick bit on Twitter where I actually took it for a drive, so I made sure all the electronics worked. The gearbox is that bit there, so that's actually a full gearbox in there, fully built. All the cogs that are in there. There's a full set of bearings in there as well. I'll just see if I can find it. I've got a couple of spare bearings. It is not, I repeat, it is not a cheap kit. Apart from the cost of the filament, which, like I say, my good friend Rushmere 3D gave me that for nothing, which was absolutely fantastic of him. Apart from that, the cost of the sort of fixings and stuff like that will cost you about £50. And then if you haven't got any of the radio gear or something like that, it just goes on and on and on, and it probably stands me at probably about £150 in total, including the radio gear and all the bits and pieces I had to buy. I now can't find that spare bearing, but there is a full set of bearings. Ah, there we are. Look, there's one hiding down there. They're tiny windy little things. They look like that, but there's a full set of bearings in the diffs, also in the gearbox. There's a full set of bearings as well. So, you know, it's a proper kit. Yeah, Gus, I've just got I've got the bear in the background. That's printing one of the final pieces. I'm not going to get it all put together today. Time constraints and dog walking, but I will do some today. I might do some tomorrow. But I just had a couple of hours spare, and I just thought, well, do you know what? Let's start putting this together. Let's get the guys on board. Let them see what I'm actually doing. What I have found is, excuse me for disappearing out of shot. What I have found is that although this is a lovely, it's a lovely PLA, this filamentum, because of the nature of how stuff is printed, it comes out a kind of matte colour. You can see that on the camera. I'll put it on that one. Although it's a bit orangey on there. I mean, this is when things came to a halt. You can clearly see there that this was printing in that orientation like that. I got to here and realised I was about to run out of filament. So I quickly swapped out for another filament that I had just to finish the print off. But it did mean I had to get a second roll of the filament to actually finish the job, which was unfortunate. I've got to say, Gus, if you actually look at it, I've spoken about it before. There's a full set of plans. There's a full set of STLs pre-sliced for the Prusa. There's a full set of prints set up on a 235 by 235 bed size. So they've already worked out what will fit on each one and grouped them together as to what's body parts, what's transmission parts, what's... So the idea is that it just makes printing it that much easier. So yeah, what I did was to increase the shine to it. I've put some clear coat on it all, so all the external body parts have been clear coated, thus making them shine. But like I've said, the level of detail is absolutely phenomenal. And I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of bits here, but you've got things like the centre cubby box. Let's just bring that down. We'll get that zoomed in on the close-up. We'll go into the close-up. Right, centre cubby box there. I wonder if I put my... That's a two-part print. It's not doing very well with the light, is it? It's a two-part print, is that? But it is just... It's exceptional. Just really, really good quality. Everything about it just sort of... It's brilliant. It is just absolutely brilliant. I did the front grille the other day, and I was showing off, well, I suppose I was really. I was showing off on how good it is when you get your printers dialed in, because I was using two different printers to print it, and the parts fitted together beautifully. But then that's also testament to the quality of the design, really. But that's the front end with the grille, and you've got the radiator, you've got the fan there, and then the radiator that goes on the back, and then all your bezels for your lights. I mean, it is just beautiful, beautiful quality. You know, when you sit that up there and do that, if you can't tell that's a Land Rover, well, quite frankly, you know, you're not very good, are you? How much support material? Not a massive amount. And the thing with it is that most of it has built-in supports. Like for instance, I wish I'd saved you some now to show you. Like for instance, the doors, that had an inbuilt support in here, and then also up this edge. Again, we'll go to the close-up cam. This edge here, which is the back of the door where the door lock goes, that had a built-in support on it. And then, like I said, the main window had a built-in support, but they're built into the actual print. They're built into the STL, so you don't have to add supports to it to print anything. Anything that needs support, it's already there. So you literally just start and printing. If you use the plates that are already set up and already pre-sliced for the Prusa, you basically don't have to do anything. You basically just pick on the next set of prints, click the print button, make sure you get your first layer down, and it'll print you a plate full of prints, depending on whether they're gearbox parts or whether they're body parts. Or some things I have altered slightly. Things like this is the dashboard. The original setup for this machine is for a left-hand drive vehicle. Now, of course, being in the UK, we can't be having that. So there's a few parts that you just have to invert in Slicer just for them to be right-hand drive instead of left-hand drive. So you've got things like that's part of the dashboard. And then you've got the second part of the dashboard, which sits on the top like that, with your clocks and everything else on it. And it's an incredibly well thought out design. I believe actually, if you go on to, I think it's on Thingiverse, if you go on to Thingiverse, he's done a couple of American models first, Jeeps and the such. And if you go on there, I think there is actually one that's free to download. I think it was the first one he did. This is the roof and the windscreen setup, which I've just fiddled about with, but even down to the fact that the windscreen wipers look. So that was something else I had to invert, was the windscreen wipers, to get them to work correctly. Just do that on the overhead, look. There we go. Just to get them to have the correct orientation for a UK vehicle, they had to be inverted as well. But I can quickly show you now what it prints like. I'll take this sheet off the Prusa Bear. These were the last few bits that I had to, well, one piece I had to reprint because I made a mistake with it. But this is basically, there you go. So what you get about 15 or so beds full of prints, pre-sliced, that you can just bang straight in. But people are doing them on different machines. Like I say, I printed some of my parts on the Ender 3 Pro. I did a few on the Sidewinder. But yeah, there's an awful lot of knowledge gone into this. He's also done some alterations for it. This one is a pickup body, but he's done some alterations now. So he's got one that's what would we call in the UK a county station wagon. So it's got a panelled side, windows in, and a rear door on it, rather than a drop tailgate, which is what this one's got. But yeah, massive amounts of thought gone into it. I have suggested to him that he does a 110 version, a 110 version, rather than the 90. For those of you who aren't aware, Land Rover measured its sizes. It's actually the wheelbase of the vehicle. So a Land Rover 90, we're not going to be able to see this on here, are we? If we do overhead. Right, a Land Rover 90, that equates to the distance from the centre of that wheel to the centre of that wheel, which is 90 inches. Okay? So that's what that is. On a 110, it was 110 inches. Many people think it's the length of the chassis, but it's not. It is the actual centre of the front wheel to the centre of the rear wheel. And that's how they word them out. So there was a 90, a 110, and then there was a 130, which was slightly longer. The previous versions of the Land Rover which people still call Defenders, which they are not. The Series 1, Series 2s and Series 3s, they were 88 inches and 109 inches. And that was the wheelbase for the short wheelbase version and the long wheelbase version. So yeah, that's a 90. I'd love him to do a 110. The chances of having a 110 would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, as you can see, I've got a box full of parts. I've got all the radio gear now that I need. Doors, bonnet, that's the rear windows. Now something else that he's done, which I haven't done yet. I didn't really see the need immediately, but what he's done is let's just go back to that. He's done a thing by which you can put not glass in, but plastic in. So I'm just reading you. Yeah, they're keeping up with the text on the screen. Yeah, so basically what he's done is he's done it in such a way that you can put clear glass, not glass, but plastic in. You can buy stuff from Tamiya, which is like a fake plastic windscreen, clear plastic sleeve. I was thinking of using, those A4 clear plastic liners that you slide your documents into. And basically, what he's done is, in his design, let me get this so you can see it. But he's put a groove in. So if I go back to the close-up camera again, so like for instance on this door, there is a slot running all the way up there that you can actually slide the plastic into, and that's all the way around that edge, look. So you cut it to size. It gives you templates as well for that. So you cut it to size, and then you just literally slide it in like that. So he's done it for the doors. It's set up for the rear window as well. Also for the windscreen. Wherever I put the windscreen, I can't remember where I put that down now. But yeah, the windscreen as well. It's set up in the same way. The piece of clear plastic will slide in. I think it's 2mm. If my memory serves me correctly, it was something like 2mm, and so that just slides in, which makes it that much more authentic. Like I say, for now I haven't bothered to do it. I will do it. That time will come, and I've just realised there's some bits I haven't printed yet. So we're certainly not getting a full build today because I haven't done the wheel arch rubbers. Afternoon, Dom. Good to see you. Let's go back to the main scene. So we've got, even down to things like the seats. The seats printed in 2 parts. Anybody that knows Land Rovers will recognise that seat base straight away, he says. That seat base straight away, and then you've got the seat back, which will screw into it. And that is a very, very, very good rendition of a Land Rover seat. A very, very good rendition. Amazingly so, in fact. And like I say, anybody that knows Land Rover would see that and go, oh, that's off a Landy. So yeah, his attention to detail has been absolutely phenomenal. And I'm sort of blown away by it. There's all sorts of tiny weeny little bits in here that I've yet to try and work out where they go. But I'm sure we will in the fullness of time. So I was just going to pull up. I've got this on my other machine over here because I didn't want to confuse myself too much by trying to do too much on one machine. I've got the build guide, which I've downloaded, and there's an online Google document which takes you through the full build. And I will just go to the next bit that I'm on, and we'll put some bits together, because that's the whole point of me being here. Sorry if I'm drifting off into the distance. Is the audio still alright? I'd like it to be. I'd like it to be as good as possible. Right, so sorry, I can't see the writing. Looks like a lot of parts. There's an awful lot of parts. There's still a load more in the box. Still a load more in the box. And that's still not all of them, as I've just realised. So we're going to take a little look at what needs to go in here, and we'll start putting some bits on while we chat. The other thing you need is a whole load of hardware. A whole load of hardware. We need M3s, we need some M2s, we need some those as well, and we need a shed load of hex keys or Allen keys. So yeah, there's an awful lot of bolts and bits and pieces. We've got M3 nuts, we've got M2 bolts, we've got M3 long bolts and M3 short bolts. I know, aren't I organised? Doesn't happen very often, does it? Get my spanners as well. Hopefully the background noise now has died down, seeing as the printers have now stopped. Good. Don't know whether any of you follow me on Twitter, but I had a bit of a nightmare yesterday. I was printing one of Wexter's latest models on my Artillery 3D Sidewinder, and I have run out of Magic Goo to go on it. So I tried to print without, tried to take it off, and I don't know whether you can see that, but it's taken a massive lump of the glass off here, right in the centre of the bed, of course, because you always print small models in the centre of the bed, which has basically made this now unusable. And after I've got the Hermes fitted to it as well, which is printing absolutely beautifully, thanks to 3D Make a Noob for designing the mounts for that. That has worked out really nicely, but unfortunately now there is no bed. So quite what I'm going to do about that, I don't know. People have suggested putting a wham bam system on it, which is a nice idea, but that will have to wait till the new year, or at least Christmas, if I get some Christmas money in from family, and then I can go down the route of maybe putting a wham bam on it, or replacing it with one of the more modern artillery glass beds, because that was the original bed, so it didn't have the clever grip on it. It's just basically it's a piece of glass. But no, I was fairly gutted about that, but false economy again, you see. If I'd actually gone out and bought some Magic Goo, it would never have happened. And this is what happens. Oh, hello, Derek. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get a warning. That could be my fault. I have done this through Streamlabs and got Streamlabs to set it all up and fire it all out there, so I didn't know whether it would work, to be honest with you. I know it tweeted it, or I believe it tweeted it, but who knows. Excuse me. Necessary liquid libations. I found the windscreen. It was right next to me. So the windscreen is done in such a way, this is got a hinged part at the back. So you cut your piece of plastic to size, you put your piece of plastic, clear plastic into there, and then you close that down like that. And then that's your windscreen in, and then I've got a little bead to run around the front as well to finish that off. So that's something, like I say, that I will do at a later date. It's just, I've been waiting a long time to do this, and bless him, James has been very, very patient with me. Like I say, he's provided the filament for me to do this free of charge, which was really, really nice of him. I really do appreciate it, because we wouldn't be at this stage without his generosity. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff, so we might as well start trying to put this thing together a bit, haven't we? Derek's at work, which means he can't talk, because Derek can't talk when he's at work. So the first things we'll do is we'll put these on. These the official title is Modesty Cover, which I don't particularly like, but the idea is that it covers up seeing under the sides of the Land Rover, and they're just going to slot in like that. Is how they're going to go, and then we're going to get a wheel arch on it. You see, just placing stuff on. Oh, tell you, I'm going to enjoy this. I don't think you are, but I am. I think that actually goes in that way around. Yeah, that's better. That goes in like that, look. You see that on the close-up cam. And then you've got a front arch that's going to go on. That's going to go on, and that's the wrong side. Maybe think I'd never built a Land Rover. I built the real thing, so building this shouldn't be any problem at all. That's going to sit on like that, and then you're going to have your door on like that, and as you can see, that's a Land Rover, that is. Without a shadow of a doubt, that's a Land Rover, that is. Which is brilliant, because that's really what floats my boat. So 7 people watching. Well, actually it'll be 6, won't it? Because one of them will be me. I must remember that. So I'm glad the audio's working well. That's a big bonus. That's a big step forward. If it continues to work this well, I shall talk you through what the microphone is. It's a desk mic. I could put it on the overhead thing up there, but it's incredibly directional, so I'm finding it easier just to have it near me. I know it's obstructing the shot a little, but who wants to see me anyway? Right, so let's go for putting some bits of this together. This is where everything could go badly wrong. Okay, so I am just looking to see. So that must be like that. So we're going to start off with Andrew. Good afternoon, my good friend. It's going very well, thank you. While we're talking about donations and people helping out, I must really thank Andrew. Andrew sent me a PayPal donation the other day. Which means that this bench that I am now working on at the moment, which is a folding table, I was able to buy this. Without this, I would have to clear off where some of my machines are at the moment to be able to do something like this. But thanks to Andrew's generosity, I was able to buy this really good quality folding table, which means that when I want to do some work like this, I can do it, and then put everything away, fold the table up, slide it out of the way, and you know, I've got my room back. So I really do appreciate that, Andrew. Thank you very much indeed. Like I say, he sent it via PayPal because that way I get all of the money. Everybody, I mean, Don did the same thing. Don dropped me a £5 at the last live stream. That goes directly to me. If you do it by any other way, the people take their piece of flesh. Actually, if you do it through Streamlabs, I think I get 100% of what you donate. But if you do anything through YouTube or anything like that, YouTube take a massive percentage of it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I am so grateful and thankful for absolutely anything. But if you ever do in the future feel like supporting me, the best way is probably through Streamlabs or through PayPal, because that way the money gets to me and nobody else makes money out of it, this is how we like it. So yeah, thanks again, Andrew. Really massive appreciation. It's made stuff like this possible, because without your donation I couldn't have bought this table, and if I couldn't have bought this table I wouldn't be able to do this stream. So there you go. if anybody wants to blame anybody for the fact that I'm doing this afternoon, blame Andrew. So, right, let's get these. Start to put this thing together. How much of this will actually get put together and how much just general waffling I'll do, I don't know. Look at that. You see, this is the thing I'm talking about. That's the bed liner for the back of the pickup. And he's even done it in such a way that it's got sort of the herringbone pattern of checker plate on it. Which is just, his attention to detail is just, it's unbelievable. The guy's an absolute star. Like I say, I think if you go and, I think there might be a link in the description if I've managed to work it out properly, which is debatable, but there could well be a link in the description. Can I just check? Can I check without it going all blooming stupid on me? Let's just have a look and see. My channel. I am live. Yeah, no, it is there. 3dsets.com. That's the guy. Martin, good afternoon, young man. Thank you very much for joining. We're just having a bit of an afternoon. We're not doing much, but I had a bit of free time and I wanted to start putting this together, and I wanted to shout out to the people that have made it possible. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing this afternoon. We're just having a play, getting this moved forward. Look at that wheel! Look at that wheel! I have a, as a lot of you know, I have a Land Rover, I have a 110, and that wheel is such a good copy of my wheels, except these are cleaner. Mine are a lot dirtier than that. But living in the country this time of year, that's kind of how it is. Right, excuse me while I just work out what size nuts I need for this first part. So these are we'll be looking at that. Talk amongst yourselves, whistle, whatever else you need to do. Open with PDF reader. There we go, that's better. I've got it on the big screen now so I can actually see what I'm doing. And then we can do a bit of zooming on here as well so I can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so these are M2 by 6s. M2 by 6. These things, blooming heck, I tell you. People need... My eyesight, I tell you. If you've never used M2 nuts and bolts before, these things are freaking tiny. Now, where is my calipers to make sure I get the right size of bolt? Did I bring the calipers down? I did. If you can't remember or it isn't glaringly obvious, get your digital calipers out. M2 by 6. I think it's probably these ones, but we'll do a double check. So we just put that onto there. M2 by 6, okay, so I know which ones I'm going at now. And I need to insert those. And I've got to put my hinges in. Now then, have I just printed my hinges? Did I just knock those off the build surface? So what everybody else doing on their happy Saturday afternoon, apart from watching me? No, Andrew, I've heard nothing from Jenny, but then, you know, it's my mistake. I cocked it up. I don't feel that they have to be responsible for replacing it. I mean, that's just me being me. I mean, if she turns around and says they want to replace it, well, that's fine, mate. But I'm not going Not going to go, you know, your glass is broken, I want some more, because quite frankly that's not her fault. You know, it was my mistake, my tightness, let's say, that caused it to happen. So I have to live with the consequences. Right, these things are so fiddly. If you don't mind my dirty fingers, we will turn this round and I'll try and do this lot so you can actually see what I'm doing. So at the moment we've got what would be called the bulkhead, although it's not a proper bulkhead, because a proper bulkhead is one full piece across the full width of the car. And basically what we've got here is we've got the bulkhead and we've got one of the hinges, bottom door hinges, and I've got to put that into there like that, and then I've got to put these two M2s through there to hold that bottom hinge in place. So that's the kind of level of detail that you go to. And basically it's set up in such a way that it's also slightly adjustable, because anybody that's ever owned a Land Rover will know that adjusting the door hinges it's an awful nightmare. If you've ever taken your door hinges off, or your doors off on a Land Rover, getting them to level back up, oh, that doesn't fit in there, does it? Is terrible. It is an absolute nightmare. Taking body panels off Land Rovers, I don't know how they built them in the factory and got them to actually shut and close properly, because they are just a ghastly nightmare. A ghastly nightmare. But you know, it's all part of the fun. So I've just got to open the hole up first. And then... oh. So yeah, this is the boring part now, guys. I'm terribly sorry. You know, you decided to click on the link when I put it up. What did you think I was going to be doing? Oh, actually, I've got just to clear those two holes out before I get that in. So make sure I've got the hinge the right way. Line it up. Sorry, I pushed it too far now. Trying to be too intelligent. It's never a good thing for me, trying to be too intelligent. So nobody else has put what they're doing. Printings and Christmas trees. Well, there's a surprise. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know of BritHawk's wonderful designs, I do this every stream, don't I? And people must get sick of it. If Martin would like to put a link to his 3D Cults page, or wherever you'd like, really, Martin, just to show off what you actually make, because you do some fairly phenomenal stuff, and your Christmas trees are lovely. I have the one I printed that you saw that had the Poundland lights in, that I used to start the Poundland lights. That is now in my daughter's bedroom on her windowsill. That has pride of place with her Christmas decoration. She's 16 years old, for goodness sake, and she's got all these strange Christmassy things up. But no, your tree's slap bang in the middle, pride of place. It's fantastic. So yeah, by all means. Oh, you can't, can you? Oh, that's terrible. Derek, can you stick a link up for Martin, please? For some reason, he doesn't seem to have a spanner, which is quite sad. I don't know why I haven't done that, Martin, but when I get time, I will add you to the list. Paint It with Penny, welcome. I guess you've picked me up from my Facebook post to the group. Yeah, I'm guessing, Paint It with Penny, did you pick it up from my link in the Facebook group, or did you pick it up from Twitter? Martin's tree. Thank you, Andrew. It's very kind of you. Do you know I need a team of people. A team. Just to keep me right. Now the problem with these M2s are they're very difficult to find get that on screen where you can see it. Very difficult to find an Allen key that fits them well. Probably because of the quality of the Allen keys more than the actual quality of the fixings. But you do tend to find, I made the silly mistake of putting them all away, but you do tend to find that you'll get one Allen key which does the job really well, and the rest are a bit dodgy. So what I've actually got, if I can find it, in this little box here, I have a little star head which looks like that, which actually isn't right for the job but does the job really well. Oh, hang on. Not really sure where I got your channel. I'd already subscribed, but look up so many subjects on YouTube. I'm going to guess that I found 3D printing video and fell in love with the beard. Well, thank you very much. It's I've been told it's got to come off. Well, not totally, because it never comes off totally, but it needs a trim before Christmas, apparently. Otherwise, I shall be in the doghouse. So, Penny, what sort of things do you do? So I'm trying to keep up with chat and it's not really working. I need to click on your link and see if you've actually done some videos and stuff, haven't I, really? Because I believe in sharing. Do you have a YouTube channel, Penny? Is the next question. If so, anybody who is not subscribed to Penny's channel, share the love. I've just dropped that bolt on the floor. I shall pick it up later. Share the love. Get on there. Subscribe to her channel. In fact, anybody on here, if you are not subscribed to anybody's channel that is on here, please do so. Because every subscriber helps. And yeah, share the love. That's what it's all about. So yeah, where Allen keys fail, this star head just forces it in. With you, that makes sense. So there you go, it's just two little screws in, that puts the hinge on. Make sure that's all the way home. So then that can sit into there like that. And then eventually, what have I done with my doors? Eventually when I get the second part of the hinge on, see, that will sit there like that. Speaking of which, second part of the hinge. Sub to me, sub to me. Sub to everyone. That's what it's all about. Right, so where are we? So far I've managed to put 2 screws in, everybody. Don't get excited. It won't last long. I want to do my minus thing on there again now. The old zoom because the eyesight's dying. Okay, so that's all good. So that's that into there. Can't put the mudguards on yet because I haven't printed. Got that in, got that in, got that in. So we need some 8 times M3 by 10s. Eight times M3 by 10s. So there's my M3s. That's my small M3s. And my M3 by 10s. Which could be those. Out with the compact again. So I'm just reading descriptions. Can somebody help BJ700 out, please? Seems to be having an issue before he loses his print. Oh, I found that screwdriver. I'd do it myself, BJ, but unfortunately I'm a little bit busy at the moment. So I said, did I say 10s on those? Yeah, M3 by 10, so I've got those now, so we can put the front fender together, is the plan. So we'll come round to there, make sure my cables are out of the way. I need to take that off there. See if I can get that camera up so you can get a better view. There we go. So these M3 by 10s sit through these holes here. They go through like that and through into there, but they also go through the arch at the same time. So we have to slide that into there, that down like that, so that lines up. You see how clever it is? Well, you can actually see how clever that is. So the wing has gone behind and lines up there, and then this goes in from the front. I need my little M3. There she is. This is the problem when you've got all this gear on your desk in front of you. You can't actually find anything. Oh no, forgot to set Z-hop at the start. Oh goodness, that's not a good idea. That could cause issues, as it is doing. Right, so that's just going to screw into there like that. That's going to pick up, hopefully going to come through, and we are going to be able to pull that all together. And there we have it, that's that side on. Ooh, it's exciting, I could crush a grape. I really need to read this chat, so just give me a minute guys while I just sort my cables out, because I cannot see my screen because of my cables. Oh, I've missed Brit Hawk's leaving, sorry Martin, bye. Plenty of sheep where? Oh, Andrew, yes. Well, there's plenty of all sorts where Andrew comes from. And I mean that in the nicest possible way, Andrew. Although I don't know whether 3D Print Viking's thinking you're in Wales. Maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe he thinks you're a Welshman. More than enough. Is that like more than enough to go around, Andrew? Is that what you're saying? So we're just getting these outer ones done first. Now, at a later date, I would like to actually get working headlights and indicators and stuff into this. The radio gear I bought for it is 6-channel. So if you don't understand about radio controlled, each channel does one thing. So you'll have one channel that will run your motor. You'll have one channel that will run your steering. So that's your basic 2-channel. So you've got one channel which does your steering and one channel that does your motor. Then you can add to that. Generally, some people have 4. I've picked 6. So the theory is I could have one to do headlights and rear lights. One to do, I suppose I could do one to do indicators, and then also probably have ones to do a light bar or something like that. Yep. He started with the Welsh jokes. Nope. Didn't want to do that. Am I guessing I'm actually getting that right with those ones? Yeah, no, that is the same. I can't see this from here. Sorry guys, I'm just going to have to move this ever so slightly. Just got to get my inner wing lined up. There we go, inner wing lined up. You can't see what I'm doing now, can you? This isn't very good content, is it? Let's get screwed into there. Come on. Bite, darn you, bite. In we go. So all I'm trying to do at that point is get this lined up. There's a hole in this inner wing here, and it's just a matter of getting those 2 lined up and screwed in. But look at that. I mean, look, you know, when you put that on, I mean, doesn't that look the boss? Oh, sorry. Penny with penny. I could have sworn Martin UK said Wales. Oh, no. Sorry, no. Andrew's in Scotland. But they were talking about sheep, Penny, you see. That was the thing. So my brain, for some reason, when people start talking about sheep, immediately goes to Wales. Wales is a beautiful part of the country. Mind you, so is Scotland. But my mother was born in Porthcawl. So I have some Welsh heritage, I suppose, one way or another. But my you're going to hate me for saying this, my spiritual home is definitely Scotland. There is just something about that place. Get up beside a Loch Long or somewhere like that, and I just feel like I'm home. It is quite a strange sensation. Which, unless it's actually happened to you, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But some people just feel at home in some places, and I just feel at home up in Scotland, whether it's in the Highlands or the Lowlands, at a lochside, it doesn't matter where. Well, maybe not Paisley, but no, Scotland is definitely my spiritual home. But like I say, my mother was born in Porthcawl, so I suppose you can call me part Welsh, I suppose. Never really thought about it. The Hieland Coo. Aye, that's right. We have some Hieland Coos here. Some longhorns. We have a part of the 60 acres we rent out to a guy that deals in rare breeds. And we have some belted Galloways, which we tell all the children are Oreo cows, because if you haven't seen a belted Galloway, it's black with a white stripe round its belly, so we call them Oreo cows. I have some of those in our fields, and also some longhorns as well. So yeah, no, I'm used to being surrounded by strange heifers. So the stereotype in Wales is sheep, and the stereotype in Scotland is cows. What's the stereotype in England? I wish I hadn't asked that question now, because I'm going to get told, aren't I? And I probably won't like it. 2 mice, pick the right one. Yeah, got that in, got that in. Oh, Bobby Dazzler. Oh, Andrew, the thing is, if the people don't understand Scottish, they're not going to be able to understand what on earth you're typing. Beer. Now, Penny, it's funny you should mention that, but if you've watched back, or you've sat in the background watching a few of my live streams, you'll know I like the odd beer or two. It's got to be said. Well, I like alcohol, full stop. But no, beer is quite a refreshing tipple. Now, I'm guessing that at some point I'm going to have to glue that onto there, but not until I get all the lights and stuff in. Oh, good move, BJ. Good move. That might well work. Ibiza jailbirds. Norway? I don't know, 3D print Viking. Norway is definitely Viking. That's what sort of comes to mind when you think of Norway. And beautiful women. And hairy men. Sounds like a good place to go, actually. Not for the hairy men. Just behave yourselves. Oh no, couldn't do Sambuca. Used to do Sambuca when I was but a wee lad. Funny story. Matt's going into the funny stories about Sambuca, and I've probably told this one before a while ago. One of the companies I used to work for, we would have a Christmas do every year, and the boss would get very drunk and always be throwing his money all over the place, buying people drinks. And we used to have it in an Italian restaurant. So at the end of the meal, out came the Sambuca. So we showed him how to do flaming Sambucas. Now, anybody that doesn't know how to do a flaming Sambuca is you get your shot of Sambuca. You light it. You put your hand over the top of the glass to put the flame out. And then you get it close to your head as possible. And you lift your hand off and neck it. Now, we'd done this quite a lot. We knew what we were doing. He was watching us do it. He wanted to do it. The issue The issue with flaming sambucas is if you don't put your hand over the top of the glass quickly, the top of the glass gets hot and you sometimes end up with a little ring on your hand because it's got warm. Not only did my boss not realise that, but he didn't realise that you had to put your hand over the top of the glass at all. So basically what he did was he had a triple shot of Sambuca in a glass, lit it, looked at it like that, giggling inanely, and then drank it. So he ended up with this little red burn around his top lip, and his lip itself was burnt because, of course, it was still on fire when he drank it, and surprisingly enough he didn't have any more that evening. That was his last drink, I seem to remember. I sucked on a lot of ice cubes, but yeah, didn't go down very well for him. But hey ho, so that's my story on Sambuca. But the 4 gallon, 2 gallon maybe. I think probably 2 gallon is about my limit on or it used to be on a Friday night. I don't think I could get close to that now. Probably get to 1 gallon these days. But you know, got to go steady. Got to take it easy. Can't overdo it. Right, so we've got that on. We've got that on. I'm not doing much work, am I? I'm spending most of my time just chatting, which is basically what I do most of the time. So I've got to get that on. Got to get that on. Right, how do I get those on? So for those I need 2 times M3 by 20s. Would they be 20s? Seem to have a massive lag on this stream. I do apologise if you're suffering from lag. I promise you I'm not doing it on purpose. There we go, there's a 20. So 2 of those. This is to put the rear wheel arches on now. So we've got 2 of those, which are the 20s. And these are to start off the rear wheel arches. So first select the right wheel arch. So that's still in a box now. It's got to be here somewhere. That one, right in front of you. So that's going to sit on like that, and they want me to put a bolt through. Oh, turn this around so you can see. Yeah. So the bolt appears to be going through up here. So it's going through there and into there. Oh, Andrew, I've seen a lot of people that do that. One poured it down his chin. That was fun to watch. Henceforth, no more serving flaming sambucas or absinthe. Yeah, well, absinthe is dangerous just by the fact it's absinthe. Sambuca can be fun. if drunk, I was about to say, if drunk by responsible adults. Yeah. Right, I'm sorry for this bad piece of footage for you, but I am just lining things up again, so I can't do that while you're watching me. Sorry. Oh. This is where I might need to revert to our Allen key because, oh no, she's going. The clever little screwdriver thing might be a little bit too long. But it's got it to have, as they say. So were you working in a pub, Andrew, or something like that? Or was it just you were on a night out and one of your mates did it? I'm not sure that I want to know. I've been on nights out with Scottish people. At least I think I went on nights out with them. I remember waking up eventually. So, an hour into me waffling and playing with bits of plastic and screwdrivers, and people are still here. That's got to be a record. So there we go, we've got that bolt in there like that. That puts the rear wheel arch on, so we're beginning to get an idea of the shape now. It looks awfully high on those shocks, but I think once we've got the weight of the body in and everything else, and there's the battery to go in, because the battery's quite a lump, that will bring it down a bit, and the rest of the body on. These are adjustable, so I will be able to adjust. You can't see what I'm pointing at now. These are adjustable, so I will be able to adjust the shocks down if necessary. And I've actually got some oil to go in them as well to make them properly hydraulic. Bar staff for 2 years. I think that's something we've all done, Andrew. I was bar staff for a couple of years at a nightclub, and then I went on from that to door staff, which is the right way around to do it, because if you're bar staff somewhere, the posh bit of me coming out there, bar staff somewhere for a time, and then you become door staff at the same spot, people tend to have a bit more respect for you. I'm just going to bring that camera a bit over like that. There we go, a bit more central. Yeah, customers tend to have a bit more of respect for you if they know you from the bar to start with. But yeah, no, been there, done that. Had all the fun and frivolity that went with it. The late night lock-ins. My goodness, yeah. People think they have lock-ins. They have no idea. When you work in a nightclub and you have lock-ins, you know, that's a real lock-in. Right, I'm just dropping it onto my knee to stick this bit in. Do you know, I've now got a Levelers song stuck in my head. How awful. Right, I'll just get this started and then we'll get back up onto the table. I was probably the most amenable member of door staff you would have ever had the pleasure to meet. I wasn't one of these meatheads that used to find an excuse to hit somebody. I was the one that would spend the early part of the evening walking around the nightclub talking to the customers. It was an alternative rock stroke indie nightclub in those days. Talk to all the punters, get to know them. If it was a new face I hadn't seen before, spend a bit of time with them. And then of course if things did kick off later in the evening, you would hope that they would remember the fact you were pleasant to them, and they wouldn't try and bottle you, which is basically how it worked out. There would be the other bouncer on duty on the floor, either kicking hell out of the bloke or having the hell kicked out of him, and I would be carefully escorting the other guy out, him apologising, asking if he can come in tomorrow night. Is everything alright? Cheers mate, I'll buy you a drink next time I see you. And it was all because of the positive attitude that you set up when you first go in. Right, I've got that on. So I've got my two arches on. No, should have done that. Right, what am I looking at here? So 2 times M3 by 6. Do they just... Oh, I see, I need those. Oh, I don't know whether I've got those. Oops. Come be another slight issue. Parts not printed. That's that, that's that. Wing mirrors. Yeah, da-da-da-dee. Are we having fun yet? Got those in, got those in. Way up, we're losing viewers. Tail light covers. I'm not going to do the tail light covers yet, as I have not got the tail lights yet, so that would be a bit silly. We'll get this other bulkhead side put in. So we need oh, and something else while I think on. He says, don't know what I've done with it now. I was just going to do something. I can't show you what it was because I can't find what I was going to do. There we go. What we are going to do is we're going to thank our kind sponsor for the filament. So what I thought we would do is, I have a couple of his stickers. And what we're going to do is, we're going to take one of these stickers, and we are very carefully going to put that on there like that. So we're going to have one of those on each door. So it's going to look like that. So it's my Rushmere 3D sponsored vehicle. Because like I say, without him, it wouldn't be happening. Oh, excellent 3D print Viking. That sounds like a good idea. I did exactly the same thing. I got the battery pack that you put on, which means my camcorder thought it was running off battery, but running off mains, and then you get your Elgato set up. But then I found that it went to auto shut off every now and again, which was a bit of a nightmare. But we get over these things. Ooh. Penny, don't worry, you're with me to the bitter end. Bless you. Some people just haven't got homes to go to, have they? I am just going to put that on silent. I just want to do something. Just bear with me, kids. I'm going to have a look at Penny's channel. Paint it with Penny. And I'm going to subscribe. Ping! Subscribe. I'm going to hit the bell. Ping! For all. There we go. Oh my goodness, your stuff is amazing. That Rootmaster looks gorgeous. Wow. Oh, tell you what, you don't have to make me look like a amateur. That's got to be said. And a video on copper as well. I shall have to look at that later, Penny. Oh man, I'm just looking at the stuff behind you. Wow. My goodness. Fantastic. If you are not subbed to this channel, get subbed to this channel. Wow. See if we can get before the end of the stream. If you have not subscribed to Penny's channel, I would like to see it get to 550. It's at 545 at the moment. I know there are only 10 people watching, but if everybody likes it, I would love to see it. Just get up there a bit. See if we can do that. I know I'm not a big channel and I haven't got a great deal of weight to push forward for other people, but let's see if we can get her up to 550. That would be lovely. I feel like we've done something nice today. But no, it's a cracking channel, that, Penny. Really impressed. I am going to have to watch those later. Possibly with a beer. Or 2. Or 3. Or 4. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate that, mate. Oh, yep, there he goes. He's gone up another one. Woo! I love it when things work out. I do love the community when they're friendly to each other. I really do. It's a lovely thing. They're all the same. Oh, tiny weeny little bits. Even down to door handles, look. Door handles. I've got a door, I'll put it on, but door handles. You're streaming tonight? Fantastic. What time are you streaming, Pen? Get it out there. Let the world know. I shall attack your stream. There you are, look. Door handle. Just, I tell you, the quality. I've got some questions I need to ask you anyway. $5.47. Come on, guys. 3 more subs. That's all we need. I'm sure we can do this between us. Even if you go on Twitter while you're on my stream, get yourselves on Twitter. Get them to sub to them. You know, don't worry about the fact that I'm streaming. You know, don't worry about me. But yeah, get on Twitter. Get people to sub. I want to see that at 550. Come on, we can do it. I don't even know where I am anymore. Do you know, it's quite sad, but I stopped looking at my subs. I mean, I do love it that people sub, don't get me wrong, because it does make you feel that what you're doing is worthwhile. Because anybody who does any work on YouTube, whether it's live streams or whether it's pre-recorded stuff, the amount of actual work that goes into doing it is phenomenal. It really does. It takes up a lot of your time, a massive amount of your money. There. Yeah, so supporting each other, I think, is a massively important thing. But I want to know, Pen, if I can call you Pen, where you get your designs from. I mean, I'm looking at that tractor. Is that a kit that you've bought and printed, or was that I mean, I haven't watched the video. I know I should do, really. But if I can get the information from you first. Is it like a pre-built, well, not a pre-built kit, but a pre-printed kit? Or is it something that you printed from scratch? Do you design your own stuff? You know? I mean, I've really, the only reason I'm doing this one is because I have a Land Rover. And because I have a Land Rover, it is one of my passions is Land Rovers. The other one of my passions is 3D printing. So it sort of, it was a natural progression for me from one to the other. Very good. Oh, that's something else. I've got to remember to go out later and get something in to have with my dinner. Got to take the dogs out as well. We will probably finishing this stream at about 3:30. As I've got to take the dogs out for a walk, and I've got to go and get into town. Get into town to get some shopping done, because the local village One Direction is turning on their Christmas lights this evening, and I do not want to be trying to get through there while the place is full of people shouting. Frankly, I want to be in and out beforehand. Alright, buddy. Yeah, I'll be on till about 3:30. So about another 40 minutes, and then, like I say, I've got my chores to do. If I happen not to be about later, yeah, thanks very much for dropping by. And yeah, we'll speak later, buddy. Oh, now steady, Andrew. I quite like the look of the new Defender. It's Defender in name only, but I still like it for what it is. 3D printing is expensive. Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is that what makes me laugh is the speed that people expect things to print. That's what always makes me giggle. Is when people say, "Well, how long is it going to take?" And you tell them, and they go, "What? 18 hours just to print that? I could have bought one." And they don't, they don't get it. It doesn't make sense to them, which is fine. I haven't got a problem with that. I don't have my hobbies to please other people. My hobbies are to please me. Right, so I've got those two on. We are moving forward. Get that door into there, look. I'm sure this isn't up to your standards, Penny, but I'm quite pleased with that. It's even got the door shuts of a normal Land Rover. Absolutely freaking terrible. You see, and then that's going to sit somehow. Oh, well, I've got that angle right, look. That's going to sit on there. That's going to look the boss, is that? Oh, I am going to be pleased with it. Andrew, behave yourself. I don't know whether you know, but I do actually have two Land Rovers. I have the TD5, which is outside, and I have a Series 3 short wheelbase, which is in fact quite a rare beast in itself, because it's the yeah, that's what I meant, Andrew. It's the 37th Series 3 off the production line. So it's an early model. But that's in a nice, clean, dry shed at the moment. Waiting for me to go and change its springs over, because they need doing. Right, where are we up to on here? I can't see anything because I'm looking at Penny's channel still. Right, so we're not putting lights on yet, so we'll forget about that. We've done all the gearbox stuff. That was all the hard work. Right, so we've got all that. So they want to put some interior in now. Okay. So, interior-wise, we have this, which is classed as the seat box. Buying stuff's overrated. Right, so what on earth do I want to go in there? So M2 by 6s in the front and M3 by 20s in the back. Okay. This is for the seats. See, that part I did in a carbon fibre, and then the actual seat base itself is done in it's Prussian. Is it Galaxy Black? Because it looks like I've got dandruff. Which wouldn't be too far from the truth. M2B what's M2B 6s. Hunter's wagons, very sought after. Absolutely. Oh, I love me Landies. Again, people don't understand it. Blood, sweat and tears. You've seen me try to do anything, have you? I see. We're up to 12 viewers. Hello, new viewer. How the devil are you? How's Penny getting on with it? We stood at 547. Come on, guys. I want 3 new subscription for Penny's channel, please. This isn't fair. Let's get her up to 500. And then she can have a celebratory stream this evening of 500 subs. I know this is 543 on her thing. It does actually say real time 547. So that's what I'm going with. And I want to see that at 550. Because it's only good, right and proper. Again, I'm doing stuff on my lap which nobody can see. I'm just trying to get this M2 screw in. Because I'm screwing through this and into the bottom of the chair, I've got to hold the bottom of the chair tight against this so it doesn't leave a gap when I've screwed it in. So that's what I'm doing. I think everyone's already scrubbed. Well, that's just not good enough. Get out there in Twitter land and get some more subs in here. Come on. Right, that's that one done. So that's seat front on that one. And then seat back, I'm guessing, is going to go through the whole lot. None of it is bought at all, Pen. It's all 3D printed. The whole thing. The only thing that isn't 3D printed is the tyres, the shock absorbers, the nuts and bolts, the bearings, and then the RC gear. Everything else is 3D printed. And if you look on the information for this video, it's a guy called 3dsets.com. So it's 3dsets.com. If you go there, you'll see he does a couple of American style trucks, and then he also does this Landy, which he bought out a couple of months ago. And like I said, the whole lot is 3D printed. I'll just put that screw in. I don't know whether it's the right size. Is my focus really badly that out on the overhead? That looks really bad on my screen. TK, good afternoon, my friend. How's the world of resin printing? Shall I ask him? I need to ask him, don't I? Whether he's subbed. People are going to get sick of me saying it. Yeah, that's a classic Land Rover colour, is that blue one, isn't it? An absolute classic Land Rover colour. I'm only doing this colour because, like I said, this is the colour of my physical vehicle. So I'm sort of doing a small version of myself, as it were. But no, that blue is a lovely original, more of a late series 3. No, it's probably not though, is it? It's probably a 200 TDI, 300 TDI kind of colour. Before it went to Defender, and then they did do a really nice Defender in it with a white stripe down the side. Oh, hark at me, sounding all knowledgeable. TK, could you do me a favour, buddy? Could you just click on Penny's name, go to her channel and just click the subscribe button for me, fella? We're trying to get her up to 550 subs. She's doing a stream tonight, and it would be nice if she was on 550 for a stream this evening. We're just sharing the love a bit. Oh no, dude, I hope you feel better soon. Do they think it's resin related? I mean, is that a concern, or is it just a bit of extra prevention on top that you don't want to run the risk? Because that, you know, that's a bit of a downer, dude. Right, there we go. Penny! That's where you share the love now, look. TK's on 497. Let's see if we can get TK up to 500. Oh, I see. Right, I'm with you, buddy. Well, we've all done that in our times. When I had my daughter 16 years ago, we had her in July. Excuse me, I just dropped my screw on the floor. Had her in July, and I was smoking at the time, although I had cut down quite a lot, but I was still smoking. And my wife, well, partner, turned around to me and said that I wasn't allowed to hold the baby unless I washed my hands, and and it got to Christmas that year. And it got to New Year, and I said, right, my New Year's resolution is to stop smoking. And she looked at me and sort of scoffed a bit, knowing that, I mean, I was only smoking probably 20 a day, but she didn't think I'd be able to give up. So it got to about quarter to midnight on New Year's Eve, and I had one cigarette left in my packet. Took it out of the packet, I lit it, went outside, lit it, smoked it, came back into the house, screwed the packet up, chucked it in the bin, and have never had another cigarette since. It's as simple as that. And do you know what? Sometimes I forget I ever smoked, as weird as it sounds. And I won't say it was the easiest thing on the planet, and my partner certainly won't say it was easy because she had to live with me. Apparently for a good 3 months I was like a bear with a sore head. But once you get past that stage, it can only be better. Right, I tell you what, I can make TK go to 500. Let me see if it will work. I hope this doesn't knacker up the stream too much, but I'm just going to try something. Right, I think if TK checks his channel, he might even be at 501 now. Now we just need to get Penny sorted out. Scolder! How you doing, buddy? Penny, we're going to do it. Scotty! Stop what you're doing. Click on Penny's name, please. Go to her YouTube channel and click subscribe for me, will you? You are going to be the man that's going to make a day. I know you don't hear that very often. But you are going to be the man that's going to make a day. Yeah, TK, with me, it was yeah. I had a mental thing in my head that said the only time I have to be strong is when I'm around other people that smoke. And all I did then was try and distance myself from the people that smoke. Which could be difficult. I mean, it's a lot easier now that you can't smoke in pubs. I mean, that must make life a lot easier for people trying to stop. But the other thing I said to myself was, willpower you only have to have for the 2 minutes you're at the front of the queue in that newsagents or supermarket or wherever, and you're there, and they say, is there anything else? And if you can say no and walk out that door, that's 2 minutes worth of self-control you have to have, and then you're alright, because if you haven't got the cigarettes you can't smoke them. Yeah, well, dude, I hope you feel better soon, mate, because nobody likes being sick. It's a horrible thing. I'm just having to make these holes slightly larger on the seat backs to actually get the bolt to go in. Oh no, you're kidding me, Scott. You haven't done a day's work. Penny, check your channel. Yes. I feel sorry for you, Scott. I really feel sorry for you having to do an actual day's work. That must be so awful for you. Quite how you cope, I don't know. There was something I was going to ask you, Scott, and I can't remember what it was. Can't have been very important. Oh, way up. Work phone. Don't like that. I suppose I better look at it, but I hate it when the work phone goes off. Sorry, just work. I've just got to send a text message. This is riveting, isn't it? There we go. One of our customers staying on site has has bought their Now TV box with them to watch. I think it's probably boxing or something this evening, and left the remote control at home and wanted to know if I had a remote control. Well, I haven't. Scald, I'll catch up with you all later. Need to drink. This is coffee. All right, buddy. Thanks for bobbing in. I'll speak to you later. You never know, I might be back around tonight. I think I might be going and watching Penny's stream later on. 8 o'clock UK time. Yeah, I might just bob in there. But yeah, we'll speak later, mate. Take care. And thanks for dropping by. TK, yeah, I have a... not an Oculus Rift. What's that other one called? I have one of them. But I haven't got a room big enough to set it up in. We have a seat. Don't those seats just look absolutely spot on? Absolutely spot on. People watch TV still. Apparently so. These are people that don't have 3D printers to stare at all evening going, please don't fail, please don't fail, please don't fail. Or please don't rip a lump out of my bed. Oh! Sorry. So annoyed with that. So annoyed. Just got it printing beautifully with the Hermes extruder on it and everything, and it's just printing lush, absolute lush. And I do this lovely Wexter print and just got to take it off the bed and snap. Gutted, absolutely gutted, but hey ho, such is life. Anyway, Penny, if you like, you can join the stream and talk about your Land Rover. I know a few people that would generally be interested. I won't guarantee that, Pen. We'll see how we get on. But I will certainly come in and chat in the chat. By all means. But whether I'll have enough time depends on what my orders are for the evening. Oh, that's because it's over there. But yeah. Maybe. Oh. Ultra bass. TK, it's one of the original Sidewinders. It's what I call a V0. And it's literally just a piece of glass with their logo on. I think it's heat treated. But no, it's not the ultra bass style. It's not got the pattern on it or the special release agent on it or anything. And unfortunately, I'd run out of Magigoo, and I did the print anyway. And yeah, the PLA decided it was going to stick far too well, and it's just ripped a massive chunk out the middle of the bed. But hey ho, you know, worse things happen. I didn't spill my beer. There we go, that's better. So we're on to the second one now. We've got the seat base down. You see, that's going to go there. That's going to fit in there like that. That's going to be an absolute bobby. Did a baby group last week, 23 centimeters tall. It took 6 days and I came home to find a massive series of relationships. I'm disappointed that we're going to tell the story. Oh, Pen, could you? I know some people, what they do is they measure what what layer it got to, and then print the rest of it, then glue it back together. Is that not a possibility? Has it gone a bit beyond that? I mean, I know it's not the ideal situation. Have I got a resin printer? I have one sat over in the corner over there. I've got a Mark 1 Photon. And you know what, TK? I just cannot get my head around it. It's me. It's definitely me. It's not the machine, but I have trouble with getting actual prints out of it. I don't know whether it's the curing time or between layers or what. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem to want to work very often for me. I don't know whether it's the resins I've bought. Quite what, I don't know. And unfortunately, when I lose my rag with something, I tend to sort of leave it alone for a while. So that's what I've done with it. Rather than doing something stupid with it and making a right mess of it, I kind of put it on the back burner until I feel in the mood to have another go at it, and then I will do. Yeah, certainly, mate. When I've got time and inclination, we can do that, buddy. My issue at the moment is that coming up to Christmas, I'm a bit busy. Keeping all these customers happy with their Now TV boxes. I don't know why they don't just use the app on the machine. If they're... because we've got Samsung Smart TV, so I'm sure they must be able to use that. Loving the cup holders. Yeah, somebody's designed a cup to fit in them. Believe it or not, 3D printed cup that'll go inside those. So not only can you have the cup holders, you can actually put the cups in them. That would be great, Andy. Just let me know how much and how much it'll cost to get it down from old Bonnie, Scotland there, and we'll see if we can't get something sorted, because it'd be nice to get it up and running again. I'm reading. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with chat. Anybody that does live streams will understand that trying to keep up with the chat is a nightmare. Is it not possible? Is it not a possibility? But what we are going to do is 3D pen the hair on as best we can, and then cover it with an infant-sized Liverpool FC hat. Okay, well, if it works. I think putting a Liverpool hat on it might sort of ruin the whole print, but shouldn't say that, should I? They're doing very well at the moment. Right, I'm just screwing my backrest in. What a riveting Saturday afternoon this is. Do you know, we are just so rock and roll, aren't we? That one might do it. Yep. So we've got about 10 minutes left of the stream, that's all, I'm afraid, guys. I know it's been incredibly riveting for you all and made your afternoon so much better. But like I say, life is going to get in the way. Dogs to do. Food and alcohol shopping to do. But we will continue this another day. Just thought it was quiet. Nobody else was doing anything, so I just thought I'd bob on. If anybody wants to advertise their channels, their companies, or anything, you are more than welcome to do so for the last 10 minutes. Most of you are have the hammer, so you can do what you like. Just bear with me. Yeah, Pen, I've given you mod rights, so if you want to put links to anything up just while we're on for the last 10 minutes, your YouTube pages, anything else you might be doing. Andrew, if you want to put something on for the business, by all means do so, because I like to share. I believe it's important that we need to get these things out. So yeah, by all means stick your links up in the chat there. Tell people what they're to, what they're for. Is Don still here? Because Don needs to put on for his... I don't know whether he is. Don, if you're still here, let me know, and we'll get a link stuck up for your YouTube channel as well, my friend. We've got seats. Stop waffling on, woman, and get a link to your YouTube channel put in chat. Derek, if you're still there, which I'm sure you are because you're at work, can you just stick a link on, please, to your YouTube channel and Don's YouTube channel as well, while you're at it. There you go, guys. There's Andrew's Facebook page for his work. Derek stuck his on. If you could stick one on for Dom as well, please, Derek, that would be most helpful. Unless, of course, Derek, that is Dom's you've put on. Who would know? James at Rushmere, I know he's probably not with us anymore, but his link is in the description. He is the guy who has sent me the Filamentum Ruby Red PLA, which has made all this possible. Without that, we wouldn't be even doing this. Can't trust you with a hammer, Dom. I've seen the way you treat your printers. There'd be nothing left. And there you go. There's a link to 3D T-Tech 3D's website as well. If you need anything, any filament, that sort of stuff, take a look at that site. But also please look at Rushmere, like I say. Did me a massive favour and deserves some feedback from it. I suppose I ought to thank Filamentum as well for their wonderful filament. Thank you, Derek. Everybody's doing Don's channel now, look. Yeah, because Don's actually finally printing again. Finally. Right, if everybody's happy and everybody's got their information out there that they wanted to get out, we'll just about call time on this, because I'm sure you're bored stiff listening to me waffle on, and I'm sure you've got better things to do. Go and watch some Christmas lights be turned on somewhere, but not where I'm going. Just... There we go. That's going to sit in there like that, look. You can't see. You can't see. There we go. Take the door off. Seat box and seats. So it's definitely coming on now. We've got these to go in. They're going to sit in like that. So you've got your footwells. They're going to sit in either side. And then this is going to go in like that. That will sit on top like that, and then somewhere put the steering wheel up to go in like that. Although we have still got the boss that's in here somewhere, so we've got the boss to go on. You've got the boss and the steering wheel, so I've got that to put together, and that will sit onto there as well. And then we've got the wing mirrors to go on the doors, and then we've just got to... That's going to sit up there, look. It's all going to look lovely. And unfortunately the door I keep putting on is the one without the sticker on it. But we're definitely heading the right way now. There we go. Looking good. It's going to be a thing of beauty. That is for certain. Oops, right. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Do appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's support for each other. That's a lovely thing to see. You go, me and Mike. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I say, if you're not doing much this evening, Penny's got a stream on at 8 o'clock. Bob in, say hi. If things pad out, I'll bob in Penny and say hello. How long I can stay, I don't know as yet. It just depends what I'm allowed to do. But yeah, have a great rest of the day, everybody. Take care of each other. And yeah, we'll see you again. Bye now.